some of you have all been waiting for. Or let's be honest, there's maybe only 5 of you watching this video, so at least one of you's got to be waiting for this, right? Anyways, quick tour here real quick. Okay, this is where they've been for the last 3 days. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Gideon. So they've been in here 3 days now. They have gotten some hay in addition to what they scrounge. The sheep, I'm learning, this is our first year with sheep. Well, not 2019. We have a flock of 17 ewes and 1 ram. We put the ram in December 12th, so we should have lambs dropping on the ground sometime around May 6th. That's how we water in the summertime. We just use it for a bit of shelter right now. The other one on the ground is just a bit of a protection for the dogs to get in and out. And then the other one is a sheep-proof dog feeder, self-feeder. We'll get a closer glimpse of that, but pretty neat design. I borrowed that design from Greg Judy. Something to allow the dogs to self-feed, but yet keep the sheep out of the dog feed. So anyways, they're gonna move into here. We are gonna split this in half. As you can see, I use Premier 1 netting. It is wonderful when it's up, but it is a pain in the neck to move. It will make a Christian man swear, I promise you. So we're gonna start training to go down to poly wire or poly braid, one of the two. The fence we're gonna use today is a Gallagher 4-wire fence. As I think I said before, I'm not sold on it. It's a good design, or the concept is there, and it may be user error, but I did have the sheep get out of that once, and they made it a half a mile away across a 2-lane highway, and so not good. So I'm a little leery of using it, but using it today, if they do bust through it, they're just gonna be contained with that upper side of the netting. And you're more talkative than the cows. We're down here to the end. What you have here is 4 spools that are they're set into fence posts that are, it's all one nice neat combined unit when it's together. I should have showed that, but I forgot. You tighten this knob up here, which I already did that too, and then it has each post, not each post, every other post has, for corners and stuff, has this string here with an anchor, so you can stick that into the ground, and it's got a tightener on it. You slide this up, and that tightens your fence up. It can't be too tight or you'll pull your anchor out. It's only 4 inches long or something. So that's that. This may be a wreck. I have no idea. The dogs have never seen this before. They may dig underneath it. I have no idea how this is going to go, because it won't be electrified until I get this all done. As you can see, or you probably can't see, but I can see, I pulled this anchor out. I apparently pulled too tight. So let me reset this anchor same way I did on the other end. Like I said, it's a good concept, and it may be perfect for this. I know with sheep you have to have good tight fences. Sheep won't respect loose fence. I don't know why, but they won't. And this fence is tight, so I don't think the sheep will blow through this. I don't know what the dogs are gonna do, and I won't be able to electrify it until I get completely done here. So like you say, we may have a wreck on our hands here coming up. I cut myself off there. I didn't completely think this moved through. Typically I have fence set up that I can split the 2 nets, split the netting that they're moving into. Those 2 can connect until I get everything through. But I kind of, Hannah, that's enough. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna close this gap. Typically our fencer, which is also a Gallagher. Pretty happy with it. I think it's an S200. On this 4 netting, that we have set up here, which is each netting is 164 feet long. It's poultry netting, which isn't necessary. It's just what I have right now for the chickens, so I used it for these two. It's pushing about 3,000 volts, so not bad. But anyways, I'm gonna try and get things put together here and record moving the sheep and the dogs and how I move. I'll just explain. Okay, so what I ended up doing, I did shift this lower side down just enough to close this gap to connect these two. Then we'll open this gate up. Or, I'm sorry, it's not a gate, but we'll pull back this section of netting up to here, so, and that will allow the sheep in. This fencer will not be inside with the sheep. This just happens to be where it's set between the two paddocks. So, all right, let's see here. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. We have to disconnect our fencing here. Untie the two. Hannah's a bit excited to. She'll want petted. Petted? Is that even a word? Come on, girls. Come on, sheep. Sheep, 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 sheep. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Hi, Hannah. I'm telling you, isn't she so hard not to pet? All right, girls. Come on, sheep. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. Sheep, 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 sheep. Sheep, 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 sheep. Come on, girls. All right, now I'm gonna. Oh, that's a good sign. The dogs were. We've only had these dogs now for a week. This past Thursday. Hannah. Sorry about that. That was a little gross. So yeah, we've had these pups now for a week. This past Thursday, we went down to West Virginia and got them off of the farm. Gideon, no. I'm learning here, so if you see something that I'm doing wrong here, please tell me and tell me how to correct it. So anyways, where was I going with that? Hannah, where are you going? We're gonna move. She's impatient. So anyways, Gideon. Gideon. All right, here we go. Pulling this netting back. Oh, jeez, it's stuck in the ground. So we just opened this up between the two. Here comes the dogs. Come on, girls. Come on, girls. There's not a lot of eating in here, so we'll give hay too. Hi, Gideon. Hi, Gideon. Hannah, she'll probably go up there and make a fool out of us or Gideon and run right through our netting, or not our netting. Hey, girls. This is our ram. I'm a little bit disappointed in his size right now. I know the farm I got him from, they were supplementing with grain a little bit. But anyways, there's the sheep move. I'm gonna go drag that stuff over here, close up this, get this electrified so that I can electrify that. And good grief, sorry. I forget I have a phone in my hand at times. And we're gonna tear down those 4 nettings and move them over to there. We're real close to moving the sheep back to our home farm for the winter. It'll just be easier to manage them. We have a good bit of stockpile there for them. So that's the plan. There was a lot of grazing over, not so much grazing, but a lot of ground not covered over here. But I just want to get them home for the winter time. It's just a little easier to manage them at the farm. So, all right, we'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, like I said, we just used the side-by-side to drag the trailer. This side-by-side is really versatile for what we're doing here with the farm. It's one of our most used tools. Here's our mineral feeder for the sheep. A very wore out, broken down box. The wheels keep falling off the trailer. Here's our mineral carrying device, aka Tractor Supply 5-gallon bucket. So we just split this in half between the sheep and the cows. I get in. This is the baking soda. Again, I need to do a little better job figuring out what they are getting from that, but they do eat it. Cows and sheep. And then the sheep mineral and the salt mix. 4-wire fence. But then there's Hannah over on the other side of it. And she has a mind of her own. Get in. Come on, Hannah. I'm going to electrify it. Then you're not going to be able to get through it. So let me see if I can get her back over. We'll get this electrified and then see how they respect it. So I brought Hannah back over. Turned the fence on. It's pushing 2600 volts. 2500 on that. And she just crawled right under it like it was no big deal. So I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know whether to leave this energized for the sheep or just leave it as a physical barrier. I'm not sure. So we'll see what happens here while we tear this fence all down and move it over to here. So they'll move into here on Tuesday. There is a round bell in here. I put that there for the cows. I'm sure the sheep will chew on it a little bit, but they won't eat much of it. I will bring a square bell over or two while they're in here, because the plan right now is to keep them in here from Tuesday to Saturday. I don't like to leave them in one spot more than 4 days. Because my understanding is the parasite load, the parasites come to a point after around the 4th day where the sheep can be starting to get reinfected or reinfested or whatever you want to say from eating on the ground next to where they have manured and whatnot. Hannah has not respected our 4-wire fence too much at all. Gideon tried to follow his sister and got wrapped, and he has not gone anywhere near it since. Unfortunately, she has learned that her fur, well, I'm sure she hasn't realized what this is, but basically her fur is enough of an insulator. If she gets her nose under there first, and then she won't get shocked. Come along and learn with me. So with that said, that's the sheep for the day. I think this will end up being a video of its own. I may overtalk. I may say things multiple times because I really don't know how this goes putting videos together right now. So as you can see, everything is moved. The self-feeder for the dogs, the somewhat shelter for the sheep, and then the dog box up there, which is being repurposed right now. We use that for our pig shelter because we run our pigs out on pasture as well. But anybody who knows anything about sheep, as far as I can tell, these sheep are in good condition. I have a couple that I'm already marked for. I won't keep their ewes, their ewe lambs to grow our flock. I'm not sure I'm going to keep any ewe lambs out of this next lamb crop because I'm not that impressed with that ram over there yet. He's got his head down. You can't really see him, but yeah, there you kind of turn. But as I think I started to say before, he came from a farm that was supplementing a bit with grain. He has not gotten a drop of grain since he's been here, nor will he. So I don't know. We'll see how he handles that. Also, I do not worm. I don't know how that's going to go either. I haven't trimmed any hooves. I've had this flock since May of 2019, and I've not trimmed anything. Now, when I move them home next Saturday, I do intend to corral them and inspect each one, trim any hooves if they do need it. But my plan is to keep record of the ones that their hooves didn't need trimmed, and also to verify or look that they're not showing signs of a heavier worm load. Because I may keep ewe lambs from those ones. If they don't need their hooves trimmed, they aren't showing any signs of a heavy parasite load. After it's been 8 or 9 months now since they've been operating this way, then I may keep the ewe lambs from those ones. We'll see. So with that, we're gonna go do some other things here. And see you in a bit.